Every like, every follow, every sponsorship deal. Kim Kardashian's social media empire was actually an algorithm-driven money laundering machine. The system discovered by the Federal Financial Crimes Unit was so sophisticated that Kim herself didn't even know where her money was really coming from. The first sign that something was wrong came from an unlikely source: a college student in Ohio named Marcus Chin, studying data science at Ohio State University. Marcus was working on his senior thesis about social media engagement patterns when he noticed something that didn't make sense in Kim Kardashian's Instagram metrics. It was March 2023, and Marcus was analyzing how different types of content performed across various celebrity accounts. He had chosen Kim Kardashian as a case study because of her massive following and consistent engagement rates. But when he started running statistical analyses on her post performance, the numbers didn't add up. Every social media platform uses algorithms to determine how content gets distributed to users. These algorithms consider factors like engagement timing, user interaction history, and content type. What Marcus discovered was that Kim's posts were performing in ways that defied every known algorithm principle. Her engagement rates weren't just consistent, they were mathematically impossible. No matter what she posted, when she posted it, or how many other major events were happening in the world, her content received virtually identical engagement patterns. It was as if her account existed outside the normal rules of social media physics. Marcus tried to dismiss his findings as a quirk of having such a massive following. But when he dug deeper, comparing Kim's patterns to other celebrities with similar follower counts, the anomaly became even more pronounced. Other major celebrities showed natural variation in their engagement. Kim's account looked like it was being managed by a computer program designed to generate specific financial outcomes. Being a responsible student, Marcus brought his findings to his professor, Dr. Sarah Williams, who specialized in digital forensics. Dr. Williams had worked with law enforcement agencies on cybercrime cases, and she immediately recognized that Marcus had stumbled onto something significant. The patterns Marcus had identified weren't just unusual, they were consistent with known methods of digital money laundering. Social media accounts with artificially inflated engagement could be used to justify massive advertising payments, sponsorship deals, and brand partnerships. If someone could control the engagement metrics, they could essentially print money through legitimate-looking business transactions. Dr. Williams contacted her former colleague at the FBI, Special Agent Jennifer Torres, who led the Bureau's Financial Technology Crimes Unit. Agent Torres had been investigating new forms of digital money laundering, but nothing quite like what Dr. Williams described. Within a week, the FBI had launched a preliminary investigation into Kim Kardashian's social media empire. What they discovered over the following months would redefine how law enforcement understood the intersection of social media, artificial intelligence, and financial crime. The investigation revealed that Kim's social media accounts weren't just being managed by a typical social media team. They were connected to a sophisticated artificial intelligence system that had been designed to manipulate engagement metrics in ways that would generate maximum revenue while appearing completely natural to outside observers. The AI system, which investigators codenamed the Influencer Engine, had been developed by a company called Digital Dynamics Solutions. On paper, Digital Dynamics appeared to be a legitimate social media marketing firm based in Delaware. But FBI financial analysts discovered that the company was actually a front for a complex international money laundering operation. The way the system worked was ingenious in its complexity. Criminal organizations would transfer money to Digital Dynamics under the guise of purchasing advanced social media optimization services. Digital Dynamics would then use its AI system to artificially inflate engagement on Kim's posts, creating justification for enormous brand partnership payments and sponsorship deals. The brands paying Kim for endorsements had no idea they were participating in money laundering. They saw impressive engagement metrics and assumed they were getting legitimate value for their advertising spend. Meanwhile, the money they paid Kim was systematically funneled back to the criminal organizations through a complex network of shell companies and cryptocurrency exchanges. What made the scheme particularly sophisticated was that Kim herself appeared to be completely unaware of the manipulation. The AI system was designed to operate transparently, generating real engagement from real users while simultaneously creating artificial patterns that served the money laundering operation. The technology behind the Influencer Engine was cutting edge. It used machine learning algorithms to analyze millions of social media interactions, identifying the optimal times, content types, and engagement patterns needed to maximize financial returns. It could predict and influence user behavior with remarkable precision, essentially turning social media engagement into a programmable financial instrument. Special Agent Torres assembled a team of forensic accountants, cybercrime specialists, and data scientists to unravel the full scope of the operation. What they found was staggering in its scale and sophistication. Over a 3-year period, the system had processed approximately $2.8 billion through Kim's various social media platforms and business ventures. The money had originated from sources including drug trafficking organizations, arms dealers, human trafficking networks, and terrorist financing operations. All of it had been successfully laundered through what appeared to be legitimate influencer marketing transactions. The investigation team discovered that Kim's account was just the tip of the iceberg. The influencer engine was simultaneously managing dozens of high-profile social media accounts, creating a massive network of unwitting participants in global money laundering operations. Each account in the network served a specific function. Some were optimized for fashion and lifestyle brands, others for technology products, and still others for financial services. The AI system would coordinate posting schedules and engagement patterns across the entire network to maximize the effectiveness of the money laundering operation. The sophistication of the operation extended to predicting and manipulating broader social media trends. The AI system could identify emerging viral content patterns and strategically position its managed accounts to capitalize on them. It could even create viral moments on command, generating massive engagement spikes that justified enormous emergency advertising spending. As the FBI investigation deepened, they discovered that Digital Dynamics had connections to foreign intelligence services. The company had received funding from sources linked to nation-states that were known to engage in economic warfare against the United States. The money laundering operation wasn't just criminal, it was potentially an attack on American financial systems. The international connections made the case even more complex. The money being laundered wasn't just from traditional criminal enterprises. Some of it appeared to be connected to foreign efforts to influence American politics, manipulate financial markets, and destabilize the U.S. economy through social media manipulation. Agent Torres realized that they weren't just investigating a financial crime, they were uncovering a new form of warfare that used social media influencers as unwitting weapons against their own country's economic interests. The breakthrough in the case came when FBI cyber specialists managed to infiltrate Digital Dynamics computer systems. What they found was a treasure trove of evidence documenting not just the money laundering operation, but the broader strategic goals of the foreign entities behind it. The documents revealed that the influencer engine was part of a larger project called Operation Engagement, designed to weaponize American social media culture against American economic interests. By using popular American celebrities to launder foreign criminal money, the operation was simultaneously enriching America's enemies while corrupting its cultural institutions. The evidence showed that Kim Kardashian had been specifically targeted because of her unique position in American culture. Her massive following, diverse business interests, and frequent product endorsements made her the perfect vehicle for large-scale financial manipulation. The AI system had been designed around her specific social media patterns and audience demographics. More disturbing was the discovery that the operation had been testing techniques for broader social manipulation. The same AI technology used to optimize engagement for money laundering purposes could be used to influence public opinion on political issues, promote specific products or candidates, or even destabilize financial markets through coordinated social media campaigns. The FBI faced a complex decision about how to proceed. Arresting Kim Kardashian would generate massive media attention but might not serve justice, since she appeared to be an unwitting victim of the scheme. More importantly, prematurely exposing the operation might allow the international networks behind it to escape and establish similar systems using other influencers. Agent Torres recommended a coordinated operation that would simultaneously shut down the entire network while protecting the celebrities who had been unknowingly participating. This required careful coordination between multiple law enforcement agencies, international partners, and social media platforms. The operation, codenamed Authentic Engagement, was launched on September 15, 2023. Simultaneous raids were conducted at Digital Dynamics offices in Delaware, server facilities in Virginia, and associated locations in 12 other countries. At the same time, FBI agents arrived at Kim Kardashian's Calabasas home to inform her that she had been the unknowing centerpiece of a massive international money laundering operation. The conversation with Kim was surreal for everyone involved. Agent Torres later described it as one of the most unusual notifications she had ever had to make. How do you tell someone that their entire career success might have been artificially generated by criminal organizations? Kim's initial reaction was disbelief, then confusion, then anger. She had worked hard to build her brand and believed that her success was the result of her own efforts and business acumen. Learning that sophisticated AI systems had been manipulating her audience and financial returns was devastating to her sense of identity and accomplishment. But Kim's response ultimately surprised investigators. Rather than retreating from public life or attempting to deny her involvement, she chose to cooperate fully with the investigation and help expose the manipulation that had been conducted in her name. Working with FBI specialists, Kim agreed to modify her social media practices to help identify which of her business partners and associates might have been aware of the artificial manipulation. This required her to post content designed to trigger specific responses from the influencer engine, helping investigators map the full extent of the system. The investigation revealed that several members of Kim's business team had been aware that her engagement metrics were being artificially enhanced, though most had assumed it was standard industry practice rather than criminal activity. The social media industry, it turned out, was so filled with artificial engagement and manipulated metrics that many professionals had lost the ability to distinguish between legitimate marketing and financial crime. The broader implications of Operation Authentic Engagement were staggering. The investigation revealed that artificial intelligence was being used to manipulate social media on a scale that dwarfed previous understanding of digital manipulation. Millions of users were being influenced by AI systems designed to serve criminal financial interests rather than provide genuine social interaction. The case also highlighted how modern celebrity culture had become vulnerable to exploitation by sophisticated criminal organizations. The same factors that made someone famous and influential, massive audiences, high engagement rates, and diverse business interests, also made them perfect vehicles for money laundering and social manipulation. As the investigation concluded, law enforcement agencies around the world began developing new protocols for detecting and preventing AI-driven financial crimes. The techniques used in Operation Authentic Engagement became a template for understanding how artificial intelligence could be weaponized against legitimate social and economic systems. For Kim Kardashian personally, the experience was transformative. She became an advocate for transparency in social media marketing and worked with technology companies to develop systems that could detect artificial engagement manipulation. Her platform, which had been used against her without her knowledge, became a tool for educating others about the hidden dangers of social media manipulation. The legal aftermath of the case was complex. While Kim faced no criminal charges, several members of her business team were prosecuted for their roles in facilitating the money laundering operation. Digital Dynamics executives were charged with multiple federal crimes, and several foreign nationals connected to the operation were placed on international wanted lists. The case also led to significant changes in how social media platforms monitor and verify engagement metrics. New regulations required disclosure of artificial engagement enhancement, and technology companies invested heavily in AI systems designed to detect the kind of sophisticated manipulation that had been used against Kim. Perhaps most significantly, the case demonstrated how traditional boundaries between entertainment, technology, and national security had become blurred in the digital age. What appeared to be a simple case of social media success was actually a complex international operation involving artificial intelligence, money laundering, and economic warfare. The Kim Kardashian investigation became a watershed moment in understanding how celebrity culture could be weaponized by hostile actors. It showed that in an age of artificial intelligence and social media manipulation, even the most successful and visible public figures could be unknowing participants in operations designed to undermine their own country's interests. For law enforcement, the case provided crucial insights into how modern financial crimes operate in the digital space. The techniques developed during the investigation became standard tools for detecting AI-driven criminal operations across various industries and platforms. The investigation also raised profound questions about the nature of authentic success in the social media age. If engagement metrics could be artificially manipulated with such sophistication, how could anyone determine what constituted genuine popularity or influence? The line between real and artificial social media success had become so blurred that even the participants couldn't always tell the difference. Years later, when discussing the case, Agent Torres would say that it taught her the most important lesson of her career in financial crime investigation: that in the age of artificial intelligence, the most dangerous criminals might be those who could make their crimes look indistinguishable from legitimate success. The Kim Kardashian case ultimately served as a warning that the digital tools designed to connect and entertain us could also be turned against us in ways that were invisible to even their most prominent users. It demonstrated that protecting democracy and economic security in the 21st century would require vigilance not just against traditional threats, but against the weaponization of the very technologies that defined modern culture. Most importantly, it showed that the battle for truth and authenticity in the digital age would be fought not just with laws and regulations, but with technology itself, using AI to detect AI, algorithms to expose algorithms, and the same tools that enabled manipulation to ultimately prevent it. The legacy of Operation Authentic Engagement extends far beyond Kim Kardashian or social media marketing. It represents a fundamental shift in how law enforcement, technology companies, and society itself must approach the challenge of maintaining authentic human connection and legitimate economic activity in an age where artificial intelligence can simulate both with frightening accuracy. As artificial intelligence continues to evolve and social media becomes even more integrated into global economic systems, the lessons learned from this case become increasingly relevant. The investigation showed that protecting individual celebrities from manipulation is important, but protecting the integrity of information itself may be the defining challenge of our time. The case ultimately demonstrated that in a world where reality and simulation, authentic influence and artificial engagement, legitimate business and sophisticated crime can be made virtually indistinguishable, the greatest threat may not be what we can see, but what we can no longer tell is real.